Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And before we start with today's event, we have Srimati Roop Rashi here with us, our Textile Commissioner, Ministry of Textile. A warm welcome to her. Come on, everyone. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. It's an honor to have you here today with us. It's a privilege, ma'am. And a small request to everyone to kindly take your seats because we are about to begin with today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, a small request to kindly take your seats because today's evening, for sure, it is going to be a memorable one. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, आप सभी से विनती है कृपया करके जल्द से जल्द सेटल ऑन हो जाइए ताकि हम जल्द से जल्द आज के कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत कर सकें. Can we off the podium, please? Check. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you, requesting all of you to kindly get settled down. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, आप सभी से विनती है, सभी से निवेदन है, कृपया करके सेटल ऑन हो जाइए, बैठ जाइए, ताकि हम जल्द से जल्द आज की शाम की शुरुआत कर सकें. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, रिक्वेस्टिंग यू टू काइंडली टेक योर सीट्स प्लीज. Can we off the podium? Check. We're about to begin with today's show, requesting all of you to kindly get settled down. And a small request to kindly silence your mobile phones for the smooth running of the show, please. Small request to kindly silence your mobile phones for the smooth running of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start with today's event, requesting all of you to kindly get settled down. आप सभी से निवेदन है कृपया करके बैठ जाइए, सेटल ऑन हो जाइए, बिकॉज हम तैयार हैं आज की शाम को और मेमोरेबल और यादगार बनाने के लिए. Check. Thank you, DJ. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ashna Kochar. I'm your master of ceremonies, आपकी सूत्रधार for this wonderful, memorable evening here. It's my absolute pleasure to be here in the heart of Mumbai to welcome all of you for this exciting road show for Bharat Tex 20, supported by our Ministry of Textiles and organized by Matexel. So on behalf of Matexel, I welcome all of you. A round of applause. Come on, everyone. This is more than an event because it is a movement bringing together leaders, innovators, and pioneers from the textile industry. As you all know, the buzz is real, the excitement is real, because the stage is all set for the Bharat Global Textile Expo, Bharat Tex 2025 in Delhi from February 14th to 17th, which is a landmark event that will showcase the very best of textile fashion, technology, and sustainability. A huge round of applause to Matexel, whose unwavering support and dedication makes gatherings like these possible. Thank you for joining us here today and here to an inspiring evening ahead. So let's make this event a memorable one, filled with ideas, growth, and lots of collaboration. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bharat Tex 2025. Let the roadshow begin. But before moving forward, let's invite our dignitaries on the dais. Shri Narendra Goenka, Chairman of the Core Committee, Bharat Tex 2025. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I request him to kindly join us on the dais, please. Warm welcome to you, sir. Shri Bhadresh Dodia, Chairman Mat Excel and Co-Chairman of the Core Committee, Bharat Tex 2025. A warm welcome to you, sir. Srimati Roop Rashi, our Textile Commissioner, Ministry of Textiles. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. Shri Vijay Kumar Agarwal, Chairman, Tex Prosil. Warm welcome to you, sir. Shri K. Shaktivel, Vice Chairman, Pedexil. Warm welcome to you, sir. Shri Rakesh Kumar, Bharat Tex Core Committee. Shri Shaleen Toshnewal, Vice Chairman, Mat Excel. Warm welcome to you, sir. Much, requesting you to kindly take your seats. And yes, today as we gather here, let us begin the occasion by invoking light, invoking Almighty, and calling God, which represents knowledge, wisdom, and positivity. To commence our lamp lighting ceremony, I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly come forward and light the lamp, which will enlighten us with success and harmony all together.
Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada. Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada. Shatru buddhi vinashaya deepajyotir namostute. Deepajyotir namostute. Shubham kurutvam kalyanam arogyam dhanasampada.
Thank you so much. I request our dignitaries to kindly take their seats back on the stage. And yes, before moving forward, I'm requesting all of you to kindly stand up for the national anthem, please.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे
Thank you. To start with our event, let's begin with a warm welcome note and overview about what is going to happen today. I would like to invite Shri Narendra Goenka, the Chairman of the Core Committee Bharat Tex 2025, to take the stage, who will give us the glimpse about today's event. So let's see what today holds in store for us.
Good evening, friends from the capital of textile industry in India. I welcome Srimati Roop Rashi, Textile Commissioner, Minister of Textiles, Ministry of Textiles, all the dignitaries and my friends from industry. At the outset, I extend my sincere thanks to Ministry of Textile, Government of India for creating this vision of mega textile show in India. Friends, we all know the importance of textile industry in India, which is the second largest employer after agriculture, which contributes to approximately 2 to 3% of GDP of India, which contributes at least 10 to 12% of total merchandise exports from India, which is the highest. At times, it was the highest single largest commodity for exports from India. So the government has realized the importance of this industry. That's why they had this vision of mega textile show in India to compete with major big shows internationally. The government has set the target of 100 billion textile exports from India by 2030. So we need all of us to work for that, and that is why this Bharat Tex here. The government is extending for fulfilling these targets. Government is, all of us know, extending full support in form of capacity expansion, in form of PLI, PM Mitra Park, and ROSTL and Road Tap, and all the state governments are in competition with each other to get the best possible help to the textile industry. We know that last 10 days back, Gujarat announced a big, very, very excellent textile policy. So every government, you name Andhra, Karnataka, Telangana, MP, Bihar, Jharkhand, now Gujarat. So all states are in competition. When we go and meet the states, they talk, what is the best policy so far each one state has given. Tell us, we will be able to do little better for you. So they are hand-holding the textile industry, and there is a tremendous support from government. We cannot have anything more than government, what they have given us. To promote export and export participate in various international exhibitions. Some of the leading exhibitions in the world are Hand Textile, Tex World Paris, and many others. So we always felt the need for exhibition in India can attract foreign buyers. Many of textile promotion councils were organizing their own RSM with active support from government. However, a need of a large-scale exhibition in India for textile and clothing was always felt. It is in this context, the government came up with the idea of and vision of organizing mega textile show in India. The first edition of Bharat Tex was inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi in February 2024. All textile EPCs came together, all industry came together and put up excellent shows, and whoever was not there in the show, there was a FOMO created by the others who could take a participation. There was a view of many, especially from city like Mumbai, some of the supply chain members said that personally many of them felt like this: we are going twice to Tech World, we are going twice to some Paris shows, we are going twice to Magic Show in a year, and last 25 years. Why do we need to go there now? They had such a great section. All the participants, most of the participants, I'll be little honest here, most of the participants had such a great success. It is not that they got the billions of order in a first show, but they got the exposure, they got the contact, they got the networking done in the show. So Bharat Tex 24 was a great success, and encouraged by that show, we wanted to continue. We always had a plan to make it an annual event. That's why we are here again with Bharat Tex 2025. I thank our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for his vision of 5F, that is farm to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion, and he added last fashion to foreign. That has laid down the foundation of Bharat Tex. I take the opportunity to extend my sincere thanks to former Union Minister of Textile, current Commerce Minister Shri Piyush Goyal ji, our current Textile Minister Shri Giriraj Singh ji, Secretary Textile Srimati Rachna Shah, Shri Rohit Kansal ji, Additional Secretary Ms. Subra Das, Trade Advisor Shri Rajiv Saxena ji, and our Textile Commissioner Srimati Roop Rashi ji, and Joint Secretary Rajiv Saxena ji, and for hand-holding, as a result of which Bharat Tex has become a huge success. I also extend my thanks to all textile EPC for forthcoming together and working wholeheartedly in support of Bharat Tex. This year too, Bharat Tex will be organized by consortium of all textile EPC with the support of Ministry of Textile. This year, show would be much larger. We are expecting at least 3,000 to 4,000 participants. We are expecting this year, we have been doing and we have done big road shows in the most of the important international destination where the buyer comes from. We have already done Madrid, Turkey, USA. Now we are doing Australia, Milan, London, and many places to make sure. And we have a great success, great enthusiasm in the buying fraternity to come in a large number here. And we have done many of the domestic road shows like today. Today is the first mega road show we have done because, as I said, this is the capital of textile industry in India. I am happy to state that Bharat Tex have gained attraction and is considered world's largest exhibition of textile and clothing. As a matter of fact, Bharat Tex is the only exhibition in the world that covers the entire value chain of textile and clothing, such as fiber, yarn, fabrics, made-ups, including home textile, garment, and technical textile. I am sure all of you are keen for the panel discussion on mega trends in global textile industry named Impact of India and presentation of Bharat Tex 2024. Without taking any more time, I would like to conclude my address. But I must tell you, the Bharat Tex is in a very, very opportune time with all the geopolitical situation in country, in world, and especially the position of Indian textile industry. No other country has this kind of value chain except China. We are from fiber to all the fashion. No other country has complete raw material. We have a giants of fibers in rayon, polyester. We have a second largest spinning capacity. We have a great weaving capacity. We have a great minds for product development. No, we can match anybody and everybody in this textile arena. So it is very opportune time. Please take wholehearted participation, and your participation is definitely wanted. But my request to all of you is to invite all your contacts under your network to come here. We will give them a best of experience here when they come here. So make sure that you take out your contact list of all your buyers and invite them personally. Call the seniors in your buying offices. Call the seniors, most senior people in your retailers, brands. Please make sure that you work for this. This would be a great service to a Indian textile industry. So with this, I thank you and welcome you to Bharat Tex 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'm sure what sir said about Bharat Tex, the previous edition, where this time no one is going to miss the Bharat Tex 2025. And as he rightly said, that how it is and will impact us in the near and the dear future is yet to be seen. Thank you so much, Sri Narendra Goenka, for setting the stage with a perfect overview of what we are looking forward for today's event, that is Bharat Tex 2025. But before hearing more about Bharat Tex 2025, first let us call the lady herself. And it is my absolute pleasure and privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Srimati Roop Rashi, the esteemed Textile Commissioner of the Ministry of Textiles. She is known for her brilliance, she is known for her deep understanding of the textile sector, and she will now share her invaluable insights of the textile industries. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Srimati Roop Rashi, our esteemed Textile Commissioner of Ministry of Textiles. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
He's tall, I'm not so. Thank you, Ashna. Respected Shri Narendra Goenka ji, Chairman of the Bharat Tex Consortia, all the Mr. Bhadresh Dhodia, all the esteemed committee members from different textile promotion councils, all my amazing industry partners, industry leaders who are all here, from whom I have had the privilege of learning so much about this sector. So I would first like to thank all of you for bringing me into the position wherein I can try to come back to you with some of my own points. First of all, I'm very happy that, and I think as ministry, since I'm representing ministry today here, I'm very happy, and ministry is also very hopeful and happy about the kind of convergence we are seeing in this amazingly long, otherwise distributed, otherwise, when I had joined, people say, oh, it's very difficult, complex, long value chain that we have here. And getting people to sit together and work for textile is itself one of the jobs. And this was in terms of why do they need government if it is an old industry? I think I have cited it in some of my other discussions, that when I joined here, I was asked, this is one of the oldest industry, why do they need government? Then people said, no, since we have everybody from all segments, we have different fibers, we have different segments who have competing interests, so we need government to kind of balance out, even out, take care of the 5.4 odd crore people we provide direct employment, and so on and so forth. But I'm happy to see the amazing convergence, and convergence that brings collaboration, that brings creation, and brings India back as India that is Bharat. If you go through the first article of Constitution of India, India that is Bharat, that is Union of a State, and we stand in front of the rest of the world together with this amazing group, amazing concept of making India as a one-stop shop for anything under textiles, from fiber to the final good, to the fashion, to our 5F mantra of Honorable Prime Minister, sir, which again, if I remember very nicely, he said in last Bharat Tex that everybody will keep talking about these 5Fs and bore you towards the end of things. I will not talk about it. All of us know it by heart, and we will ensure that each point of the value chain gets to perform the best. I'm very happy we had a very long briefing with the Bharat Tex Consortium yesterday. And on Monday, again, Honorable Minister Sir is having. So I believe that we are going to do a great job of it. I'm told more than 75% of the space is already blocked. From government side, as we say that what is the role of government? Is to ensure that we have good raw material supply, is to ensure that we have an amazing ecosystem, like to that what we say a good track or a good for Khelo India, wherein we have all the Olympians, all the champions we rear, all of you are here. Some of you are already the champions, others are going to become the champions in specific segments. So I look forward to, and of course look at markets, support people across fibers, across genres, whether it is handloom, whether it is wherein we are looking at conquering the world with heritage, and we call it Virasat Se Viksit Bharat, to all the amazing technological advances that we have done in case of fabric, wherein interesting insights I actually happened to see through one of the Bharat Tex promo, wherein it was said that we do fabric, as much fabric, which can cover Earth 500 times. And and the ministry, we did some other calculations, and it came out that actually it can be much more than that if we take the circumference of Earth, about 40.1 million square meter, and the kind of, that means availability we have with the slightly dated data of 2022 shows where we are, and I'm sure where we can be. As of now, ministry has already written courtesy, we have already talked to all the embassies, so all the kind of access points, and yeah, third is to get the best access for our various products that we are doing to the best of the markets. So already we have had a meeting, Honorable Minister of State sir had meetings with all the MEA is with us, Ministry of Commerce is with us, and all the embassies are lining up, all the consulates have been sounded, and all the main CEOs of all the big sourcing companies have been sounded by the government. So this is the way where the government is trying to give what we call in United Nations systems as backstopping support to otherwise a very, very strong value chain that we have. As such, with the new administration coming in, which is definitely looking at maybe 60% tariffs or duty on anything coming from China, and from the rest of the world is 20. I think we are already on advantage. I hope we can take benefit of that in the United States of America. It shouldn't sound political, but I'm pretty gung-ho about it, because the last quarter showed that whatever China lost was gained by India or Cambodia. So I'm sure we can try to leverage that. And my interesting insights is, with all these changes, with the kind of strength this industry, this whole all the leaders are showing, I have been getting a lot of people trying to come and talk to me who used to think that we need them. So it just gives a very, very nice feeling that all the international standard organizations are coming and talking to us now. So that shows that we can be in the bargaining position with the kind of strengths we have across fiber, across the value chain. I also want to end with this call to all of you. Please, already 75%, I'm told, Bhadresh has told me that 75% of the space is already blocked. So now, if you don't rush, we would be in constraint, because we try to keep ourselves away as government. We leave it to the organizers. But then one wouldn't like to come in kind of think of somebody has approached us and asking for a space. So please finalize your plans of participating and do it very fast. I would just like to sign off with one of the Sanskrit shlokas I learned when I was a child, and that is so true of India. Udyamen hi siddhanti karyani na manorthai. Udyamen hi siddhanti karyani na manorthai. Nahi suptasya singhasya pravishanti mukhe mriga. इसका मतलब है कि कुछ भी कार्य करने से ही कार्य पूरा होता है. हम इच्छा करने से पूरा नहीं कर सकते. We will have to start the walk on the road. So a road show here is to showcase that. जैसे कि सोए हुए सिंह के मुंह में शिकार अपने से नहीं जाते हैं. Now India, the tiger is already up. Rest of the world is looking to us. I do believe that textiles, with its amazing strengths across the value chain, would be the right way to show the rest of the world, beyond electronics, yes, beyond all the engineering goods and all other strengths that we have, that we can do it good, we can do it better, we can do it with all the due principles of circularity and sustainability, because we have those elements as part of our heritage and culture also. With these few words, I want to exhort all of you to show it once again to the rest of the world that we have arrived, and they should look up to us as the one-stop shop for anything, whether it is the material or whether it is knowledge product, across the various value chains of all the fibers. Thank you everybody. All the best, Bharat Tex.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And yes, your Sanskrit shlok was rightly quoted. And few things which I really noted from ma'am, what she said was the one-stop shop. And we really want India to be that one-stop shop, Mark. And as she said, that someone's loss can be our profit. And we are Indians, we know how to take our profits. Yes, so I am sure we all will be a part of the Bharat Tex 2025. And as we prepare for our next presentation, I request our dignitaries on the dais to kindly join us by taking their seats in the front row, please. Oh yes, a group picture. As ma'am said that Feb 14th is Valentine's Day, we will be coloring the world with lots of textile colors. Yes, ma'am? Thank you so much. Requesting our dignitaries to kindly take their seats, please. Bharat Tex, the world's largest and only exhibition dedicated exclusively to textiles. To tell us more about this, give us more glimpse about this, about what it is going to happen, what are we going to see, what we will get on board. It is my absolute privilege to welcome a true visionary person, Shri Bhadresh Dodia, as the chairman of Matexil and the co-chairman of the core committee for Bharat Tex 2025. His dedication and insights have truly been remarkable, and he's worth the acknowledgement. And yes, ये मत भूलेगा, इनका dedication और जो support रहा है Bharat Tex के previous edition में, उसे एक grand success बना के छोड़ा है. So yes, moving forward to the Bharat Tex 2025, all over to you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Dedication is not mine, but our chairman Narenji and my colleagues from different council. We are all here today to celebrate Bharat Tex and see the launch of Bharat Tex 2024. When we were conceptualizing this Bharat Tex Roadshow, obvious feedback which we were getting from all of your colleagues and you are that we already know what is Bharat Tex and we have already applied. What is the need for us to be here today? Let me tell you one thing. Here we are not to promote Bharat Tex, but you as a stakeholder, we want to appraise you on what Bharat Tex 2025 been up to so far and what is the vision which we are carrying this year to make it even more grander success. So friends, as we all know, the last year was a huge success. We had participation from visitors from over 122 countries. So Bharat Tex 2025 will be on 14th of February 2025 at two venues. The first venue is ITPO Bharat Mandapam. Here the date for this event would be 14th to 17th February 2025, as ma'am rightly pointed, it's a Valentine Day. So we will color it well, and we'll see to it that we are happy to be there. Along with this venue, we have another venue called IEML, India Expo Mart, where the exhibition date would be from 12th to 15th of February 2025. Here we have kept the dates possibly to align everyone to attend both the event with overlapping of only 2 days. So the exhibitors at Bharat Mandapam can very well schedule their visit before starting the fair here at Bharat Mandapam, and the exhibitors at IEML can schedule their visit post the event at ITPO. So how have we designed this two venue? The first venue, Bharat Mandapam, we will have the complete textile value chain right from fiber to fashion. Here you will see a complete range of textile value chain like fiber, fabrics, technical textiles, home textiles, apparels, garments, fashion, brands. So the complete venue, carpets, the complete value chain of textile will be represented at Bharat Tex 2025 at Bharat Mandapam. Then at India Expo Mart, we have 3 segments represented. First one is hardwood textile by EPCH. This is again our own show. Then we have 2 co-located shows. The first show is about the garment machinery, which will showcase the hardware and machineries for garmenting. And the second co-located show is dyes and chem, which will host all the players from dyes and chemicals industry. So this will be broader arrangements for Bharat Tex 2025. So 2 things to remember: Bharat Mandapam 14th to 17th and IEML from 12th to 15th. This year, as our chairman Narenji said, we are aiming to be better, bigger. So we are already on the way to host larger number of exhibitors, more international buyers with more ranging textile products. So the value chain represented at Bharat Mandapam, I would like to repeat here, is fibers and yarns, fabrics, apparels and fashion, home textiles, handlooms, technical textiles, handicrafts and carpets, and intelligent manufacturing. So like last time, not just the exhibition, we also hosted more than 17 knowledge sessions. This year, we shall have around 30 knowledge sessions, but a very impactful and important knowledge session. This all will be consolidated in a way that everyone is able to attend the exhibition as well as the knowledge session. So this is more or less the Bharat Tex we all know so far. Now let me bring you guys on the activity of our committee of Bharat Tex, what we've been up to so far and where do we see ourselves till the event. So we already have a great partners with our Bharat Tex. We have secured sponsorship from Birla Group, Reliance, Welspun, Arvind, PDS, Sahi, Trident Group, Vardhman, Indorama, Gokuldas, and there will be more to come in coming days. So industry is really supporting this show. May I have a please round of applause for all the sponsors which has been part of it. Thank you. So just a brief on comparison of what Bharat Tex been up to. On your screen what you see is already established 3 large textile shows in the world which has been going with the legacy of over 5 decades or more. So if you see the numbers in perspective, we are already going to be the #1 sooner. So our committee so far has been engaged in reaching out to as many as buyers as we can mobilize, because we all know that we all are proud of Bharat Tex, and really from day one when we conceptualized the next event, it was never a discussion on how we will be able to manage the space. Space, we all are fairly confident, rather we see there will be a scarcity of space for an exhibitor to exhibit. So we all, from day one, the instruction from our chairman was to focus only on one thing, that is to bring truly top-class international visitors to the show. Along with our committee, the Ministry of Textiles has been extending full support and totally dedicated to this cause. We already have done outreach program to over 40 non-EPCs associations in India. Before non-EPCs, just to brief about this Bharat Tex, I missed in the starting. This Bharat Tex Federation is a consortium of 11 textile EPCs and CMAI coming together and doing this show. Now, along with this 11 EPC and CMAI, we have been engaging with various different trade bodies in India to make them feel part of this Bharat Tex. We already had 40 plus non-EPC association MOU with Bharat Tex. We have already concluded Global Brands Roundtable at Bangalore and Delhi, where we invited important top brand owners and seek their cooperations, and they are already on board. All big brands are committed to Bharat Tex. Our Secretary Textile have chaired India mission abroad of 65 different countries, a meeting, and it was 4 hours long interaction with 65 different countries, where we sensitize our mission abroad to propaganda on our Bharat Tex, what is Bharat Tex about. They all speak in one unison that we urge all the players and important EPC players to give us the top 20 buyers list of our country, and they said we will do our very best. We will not just follow it up with the phone call, but we will be there in their office and ensure that they visit this Bharat Tex. So this is the commitment, friends, which government is working on. Already we had a meeting with foreign missions in India from different 30 countries in Delhi. This was chaired by our MOS Textile, who is also MOS External Affair. So we could leverage his position and mobilize foreign missions in India of different 30 countries, and the outreach program of Bharat Tex was very well accepted. Then we are in discussion with multilateral organizations where we will be signing soon MOUs to exchange delegations from India and from their countries to come. So really, if you see this in nutshell, the committee this time is absolutely focused on bringing the A-class buyers to this show. These are some of the visuals on the event which has happened. Ambassador meet in New Delhi. You can see our MOS. Multilateral organization whom we are discussing are there on your screen. They are actively part of this Bharat Tex. We are actively engaging with them on how we can collaborate and take this forward. Already we have reached out to 1,200 important global buyers, 80 different international associations, 20 Italian association, 4 Japanese association, 9 Portuguese association, 2 Israeli industry association, and more than 100 important CXO or CEO of brands. This outreach program has already been successful and reached out to them, and we have established the connection. So as you see, even our board members, all EPCs have been busy doing road shows in domestic as well as international. The screen in front of you list all the domestic road shows which Bharat Tex has been completed so far. These are the international road shows which we have already done. The one at Tokyo, Istanbul, Madrid, New York. This was extremely well received, and the buzz about Bharat Tex, I mean, same like here, everyone was like, we already know what is Bharat Tex all about. We have just come here to say hello and see that will we be able to attend this. So not just reaching out to the organization, association, or important buyers, Bharat Tex is collaborating with all world's leading media houses, be it print, social, TV, whatever, and we are developing exclusive partnership with all these media houses to promote our Bharat Tex program. This year, again, we will have a knowledge session which will look at roundtable session, panel discussion, master class, country state session. So you will not just attend this show for the trade, but also up your game in the industry where all the industry brilliant minds come together and share their views and opinion on textiles. So what are the deliverables we are looking at Bharat Tex? Need not to tell everything here on the screen, but we are here to show to the world that why we are the best and we will be amongst the top exporters in coming days. So we still have many activity been planned. We have over 6 to 7 domestic road shows. We have 7 to 8 international road shows. Soon you will be able to also see our Honorable Minister in various different road shows, reaching out to all of you. Government, we are following up with various different government agencies and plugging them in Bharat Tex and trying to synergize our associations. With state government, we are already, like last time, we had over 12 state partners. This year, on the same line, we will have more and more state partners. What this partnership says is the state themselves would also be promoting the Bharat Tex and taking this Bharat Tex to their individual exporters. Then we have extensive outreach to different countries, multilateral bodies, association, outreach to brands. These are the knowledge sessions wise, these are the timelines which we have done. So friends, just to tell you, I'm not here to tell you what is Bharat Tex all about. I hope I'm able to briefly express and show you what Bharat Tex will look like, and it is very clear that we should do our very best to bring this Bharat Tex into the world map, and soon I'm proud to say that we will be amongst the top exhibitions in the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful presentation and giving us all the brief about what Bharat Tex 2025 is going to look like. But before moving forward, let's see the video of Bharat Tex 2025. Can we have the video, please?
Bharat Tex, India's largest global textile event. A showcase of the entire textile value chain. A sparkling kaleidoscope of materials and fabrics. Of centuries of heritage meeting cutting-edge technology. A dynamic business opportunity. Inspired by the Honorable Prime Minister's 5F vision. In 2024, this was the textile event of the year. An event that attracted the world. An event that united buyers and sellers. This is now a brand that is weaving a global textile story.
भारत टैक्स का ये सूत्र स्टाइल, सस्टेनेबिलिटी, स्केल और स्किल के साथ भारत और विश्व के धागों को भी एक साथ जोड़ रहा है.
And now, it is time for Bharat Tex 2025. Organized by India's textile industry and supported by the Ministry of Textiles. This edition will host over 5,000 exhibitors and attract 6,000 buyers from 110 countries. An exhibition area spanning over 2 million square feet, spread over 2 state-of-the-art venues. Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi and the India Expo Center in Greater Noida will attract over 120,000 visitors. The entire textile value chain will be on display. From fibers and yarns to fabrics. From apparel and fashion to home textiles and made-ups. From handlooms to technical textiles. From handicrafts and carpets to intelligent manufacturing, all the way to retail. This is your gateway to explore and capitalize on the business opportunities in Indian textile. This is also the knowledge destination of choice for all textile professionals. More than 60 different knowledge sessions will cover pivotal trends of the textile ecosystem. Sustainability is the beating heart of Bharat Tex 2025. Recycling, material efficiency, sustainable materials and processes, circularity circuits. All the innovations are here. Explore immersive material testing spaces, trend forecasts, fashion shows, cultural performances, textile installations, industry and innovation pavilions. Meet, engage, prosper. Whether you're buying, selling or investing, this is the fulcrum of the tomorrow of textiles. Mark the dates on your calendar now. Welcome to the future of textiles. Welcome to Bharat Tex 2025.
I'm quite sure that after seeing the presentation and the video, many of you are already excited and motivated to be a part of the Bharat Tex 2025, and few of you would have questions as well. which we would be taking forward in the interactive session. So before moving forward, as you all know, that how cotton plays a vital role in our textile industry and how its strategic branding is the key to the future growth. To give us more insights on this, let me invite on stage Dr. Siddharth Rajagopal, the Director, Project Kasturi. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be with you all here. We saw an excellent presentation on Bharat Tex, which is going from strength to strength as we see. The second edition is upon us in February. So I think the organizers thought it would be a good opportunity to talk not only of Bharat Tex, but some of the other components of Bharat Tex. So you will probably see other elements being discussed as we go into the evening. But today I'm here before you to talk about cotton, which I'm sure in a gathering like this, I shouldn't be talking much. It's like taking coal to Newcastle. All of you know about Indian cotton. All of you know about the strength of Indian cotton. All of you know about India's presence in Indian cotton. We are the largest acreage in the world. We're the second largest producers of cotton in the world. We're the second largest consumers of cotton in the world. 63% of our garments are cotton-based, and almost 55% of the cotton that we produce in terms of the fiber is exported in one form or the other. So whether as plain cotton or value add thereof. So this being the picture, you can always ask, what's new about cotton in India? What's so new? And why do you want to spend 10 minutes of the time today discussing cotton in India? But the point is that today, or as I stand before you, there's an initiative which has been launched, which is slowly gaining currency, and where an effort is being made by the industry, by the associations, by the export promotion councils, and by the government, that is the Ministry of Textiles, to try and see how we can, in the term that is being loosely used is brand Indian cotton. Branding is a composite function, but here, how do you brand Indian cotton in a marketplace where Indian cotton is very well known? So that's a great challenge. So an initiative which started in December 2022, there was a memorandum of understanding which was signed between the Cotton Corporation of India, the Cotton Textile Export Promotion Council, with the blessings of the Ministry of Textiles and the then Honorable Minister of Textiles, who is also the CIM now, Piyush Goyalji, really took the initiative forward. And since the Texposil represented the trade and industry, they said the function of branding any product does not lie with the government. The function of branding any product lies with the trade and industry. If the industry and the trade believes that there needs to be something like a branding to be taken forward, then they should take responsibility. They should try and implement it, and they should try and carry it forward. Because ultimately, if you're successfully able to brand your product, you're also able to increase the value of your product and also gain higher market share. So this cotton that is being branded has very interesting features. We started with what is called the 29 and 30 mm cotton, which is the large variety, which is also called the bread and butter variety. There's nothing new in 29-30. Everybody is using it. So they said, let us start somewhere where bulk of the cotton is being used. So we started with 29-30 mm cotton and then carried the program over. It's about 1.5 years now when the program has been put into place. About 127,000 bales have been tested for Kasturi cotton, and we got a pass rate of about 47%, which is not bad considering that Kasturi cotton is a specs-based cotton verification. It is tested, it is sampled, it is tested, and then it is put on a blockchain for traceable. So 3 features which are very important. So the quality specifications are being tested by what are called NABL labs. The sample is drawn by what is called NABCB accredited agencies, and then it is loaded on a blockchain platform. And mind you, for the first time, I think, in the textile supply chain, we have put together a blockchain portal, which then the data is loaded on it, and the reports are loaded on that, and then you can trace the entire movement of that cotton, right from the farm to the retail. So that section has been put into place, and it's a very low-cost model, which compared to the certification charges that you have to pay for different types of certification that you take during your product production, or in terms of when you are also going towards your sales. So this is a very low-cost model, and it is an Atmanirbhar model because it has been put together by using the indigenous technology. Now, moving forward, this is a short story about it. There's a lot to talk about it. But in about 5 or 10 minutes given to me to speak on this subject, I can only make a very brief summary of. Going forward, we have also taken a decision to try and cover the extra long staple. So Kasturi will not only be 29 and 30 mm, it also looks at 28 mm, and now it has gone to 34, 35 mm and beyond. So we are also trying to see how to place the Indian cotton in the extra long staple segment. Just as you see Bharat Tex being an attempt made to place India in the vortex of exhibitions in the world. And there is a feeling that, well, the exhibitions around the world are sort of declining. So India has a bright chance of trying to attract people into the country. Similarly, cotton is one where India's strength lies, and India continues to be having a very robust cotton system. So therefore, how you try to leverage that through the branding program. So this is one thing. So key features which are coming forward, the spectrum of Kasturi cotton is being expanded. 34, 35 mm will come. So you can't say that extra long staple cotton, which we are importing today, perhaps we can also start using. A lot of programs are already in place to try and encourage people on extra long staple. But we hope in the coming 2 or 3 years, the extra long staple for which we really look at imports, perhaps we will be able to satisfy that demand in our country. So that is one important feature. Another feature that has come up is we have signed memorandum of understandings, because so far the concentration was on trying to deploy the supply side, to organize the supply side, the gin and the farm from which the cotton would come, and in adequate quantities to be produced and to be tested and to be certified. But now we are looking at the demand side, because the view is that if you have the cotton, the demand needs to be there. So when the demand is now being created, and we have signed memorandum of understandings with about 6 or 7 agencies, which looks at the community part, which looks at the commercial part, and which looks at the consultancy. Consultancy would mean that try and see how to improve the base of the cotton. So all these 3 models have been put into place, which is again a very encouraging sign. So going forward, as we see it here, we expect about in the coming season, because the season is upon us, the new season, and I think the season is a bit delayed this year. But nevertheless, as we step into the new season in November, December, we're already in November, and up to about February, March, we expect that this year we should be able to certify at least 3 lakh bales as Kasturi cotton. Because what is also happening is that there is advantage which has been seen at the spinning side. You get pre-clean cotton. If you see the specs of the Kasturi, one of the key points in that is that the trash content is being controlled at 2%. So far in Indian cotton, and if you see reports on Indian cotton across the world, you will find that one of the major points made about Indian cotton is that there is contamination and the trash content is high. So therefore, in this model, an effort is made to try and control trash to 2%. A lot of people, ginners, spinners, weavers, and all those who use cotton say it's not possible to get 2% in a country like India because of the small farms, hand picking, and other factors which are in operation. But I must say, there are some very, very progressive ginners who have really invested money in technology, who are now able to show that they can give you cotton up to 1.8, 1.6. So when you get cotton pre-cleaned and you take it to the spinning, you save about 3 to 4% at the spinning, because your blow room activities are reduced to that extent. And as you move forward in the value chain, you build on that value which you have created. Apart from that, the idea of creating Kasturi would be also to generate a premium which goes to the farm. The farmers, who are the key backbone of the cotton industry, as you know, because it's a farm product, a lot of them should get higher remuneration. Already the MSP is there, which gives you higher remuneration. The market should also support the farmers through the production so that they can improve their production practices. And so the value that is created, the premium that is generated, is also getting passed on to the farmer. And one last point before I end, I'll show you a small video at the end. The last point is about sustainability. Sustainability argument, as you said here, you saw in the video, is at the heart of Bharat Tex. That's the word they used. And that's quite right. It's not only at the heart of Bharat Tex, but it's at the heart of the textile value chain today. As we move forward, sustainability is a key concern right across the supply chain. So how do we deal with it? So what we've done, we've tied up with BCI cotton. All of you pay 20% additional premium to BCI. Everybody is willing to pay 1,000 rupees more. The BCI Kasturi, Region Agri Kasturi, where the cotton is grown in conditions which are supposed to be highly sustainable. Region Agri Kasturi. We have also tied up with other forum, Organic Kasturi. You look at organic cotton from India, which fetches you a premium. The same organic cotton presented on the Kasturi platform, certified as Kasturi, becomes organic Kasturi. So we get what we generally call a double engine. The organic component comes from the organic certification, and the Kasturi certification gives you the added advantage. So all these programs are in place. We have had discussions, we have had MOUs, and we are really looking forward to the new season as we go forward. So therefore, as I come to the end of this small presentation, I would like to emphasize that Kasturi cotton is not just a brand. It is a movement. We talked about Bharat Tex being a movement. Everybody is joining in and everybody is putting his energies together to put together a good show. It is a movement to elevate Indian cotton. And mind you, India has been in cotton for centuries. It's not as if we started yesterday. You read history, India has been traced right to Indus Valley civilization. So Indian cotton now in commercial use gets a leg up by getting branded. And we try to redefine global perceptions. Through Bharat Tex, you are redefining global perceptions about India. When you come to India, you're inviting people to India. Come and see India. Not only the show, but go into India and meet all the people, the suppliers. So we try to now redefine the perceptions and foster a future that is sustainable, transparent, and built on trust. And the transformation that we are witnessing today is the result of dedication, innovation, and collaboration. So with your support, with all the people in the room who probably support cotton, who probably are in the cotton value chain, who are also part of the cotton ecosystem, well, I only invite you to look at Kasturi very closely, because the ultimate ambition as we go forward is the large part of Indian cotton should get classified as Kasturi. So before I leave you, I'll play a small video. This is the traceability video. This is the USP. This is the USP of Indian cotton. I'll just run this video for a minute and then I'll take on whatever you say. Right?
Here are exquisite products made with the finest cotton from India. Kasturi cotton. It is traceable right up to the source from where the cotton came from. Just scan the QR code on any Kasturi cotton product and it will show you the entire journey of your cotton product. The chain of custody of Kasturi cotton is established for each stage of the process with details of it. This ensures that you know where your cotton comes from and all the entities that helped make your product one of the best cotton products that you can buy. The Kasturi Cotton blockchain platform gives you complete end-to-end traceability. It is transparency that you can trust. Kasturi Cotton. Truly global, proudly Indian.
Thank you very much.
Siddharji and everyone from Tex Procel. We are, whole of textile industry is very proud of you all. The way you have conducted the branding of Indian cotton as Kasturi and the traceability. I have one small clarification required when we present the traceability element since last 1 year. We have, one question is thrown to us from all the big customers who are wanting the traceability, as no other country is able to give such a great traceability certificate as you have started. But there is one small gap left still, is the field farm certificate. So that, what is the progress on that? I would like you to inform the industry here quickly. That's what, because this has been, we very proudly go and start announcing to all the people globally that we are so and so in traceability. So the one question, and I have arranged many presentation to the big brands, global brand through you. You have been kind enough in giving them all sort of confidence. But lately, last couple of months, we started getting a question of missing link of farm certification. So where we are on this, please.
Well, I think that's a very good point, sir, because any argument, discussion on traceability on a subject like cotton starts with the farm, because ultimately everybody wants to know what does the farmer get. When you're doing so much, does the premium get passed on to the farm? So ultimately they would like the strengthening of the people who are at the back end of it, and the farmers who represent the the backbone. Well, in these two aspects, sir, one aspect is that at the farm, the requirement across brands is to see the region from which the cotton is coming. So that we have implanted in our system. So the jinner, when he puts his, applies, and when he uploads, we also have a small farm where he says from where he bought it. Because today what happens, if I ask for an Aadhaar card from a farmer, that will create an uproar. I cannot ask for document. Nobody can. And we have left it, but we know from the region where it comes, the location. We are also putting in place that there's an upgradation of the system going on, where the Google map, the location map will come, the latitude and longitude that you want. Geographically, it will show where the cotton originated. That point is very well there, number one. On sustainability, number two, the sustainability as at the farm end. At the farm gate, the goods come out of the farm gate. So when the goods come out of the farm gate, or whoever is running that program, Region Agri, BCI, Organic, or anybody else for that matter, Cotton Connect, all these people, they give you a GIZ. All these people will give you a certificate. So our certificate and their certificate. And I must tell you that we have taken on board a lot of these people, and we have tested their samples. With due respect, the specs which have been agreed upon here, and as we have Karthikeya Saha from Textile Committee, from where this originated, this entire concept of Kasturi. The specs are very, very, what shall I say, stringent in our system. So it's the only system which gives you an online report on the quality of your cotton. There is no other system in the world, sustainability program, which will give you a certificate saying these are the quality parameters of your cotton. So that is very much addressed, sir, but our point is well taken. Any sustainability argument today, anywhere in the world, using cotton or any other natural fiber, looks at the back end and sees how you have linked the farm to them. That we are taking care of it. We have also put that module already, sir. So we are doing our best to try and make it a robust system. And like Bharat Tex, hopefully we should gain strength to strength as we move ahead, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, to sharing your valuable insights on Project Kasturi. Up next, we have a presentation on mega trends in the global textile industry and its impact on India. To shed more light on this important topic, I would like to invite on stage Shri Navdeep Singh Sodhi, partner, Garzi Textile Organization. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Shri Navdeep Singh Sodhi.
distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed an honor to be here, and I would like to thank the organizers for giving us this opportunity to talk about mega trends that are having an impact on the textile industry and some takeaways for India. I'll try to keep this presentation very short and crisp so that there is something to take away. This presentation is in 3 parts. We will talk about some big trends that are shaping our industry and are going to have an impact on our industry in the coming years. And we will try to distill some of these trends and look at what does it mean for India. And briefly, I would like to touch also upon Bharat Tex. Our company, Gerzi, was founded in 1929, and we have been focused on the textile industry for more than 90 years. So therefore, we have seen the evolution of this industry through various periods and eons of history, There are 3 iconic books, some very deep in thought and some very simple, So these 3 books contain a gist of how our industry has evolved over the last 100 years and how it is going to evolve in the next few decades, I'm sure many of you have read and are familiar with this iconic book by Sven Beckert, which highlighted that the entire foundation of capitalism was founded on the basis of the cotton industry, Global trade in cotton, because cotton was a precious raw material, it still is, but in those times, before the advent of the Industrial Revolution, it was even more precious, The entire history of slave trade is linked to cotton. The Swadeshi movement was founded on cotton, So this was the empire of cotton, And then my good friend Richard Baldwin, who teaches at the university in Geneva, he wrote this book on globalization. How, since the 90s, globalization changed the way trade is conducted and how technology changed the way manufacturing was done, I'm sure there are many people who are skeptical about globalization, but let me say it's nonsense. What we are going to look at is re-globalization, We are not looking at deglobalization, So there are going to be shifts in our industry. There are going to be shifts in the pattern of trade, but globalization is here to stay, Thirdly, we often hear about complaints, and one of my old colleagues said that textile people are like farmers, always complaining, Either the rain is too much or the rain is not enough. There is never the optimum amount of rain for the farmer, So there was this story about who moved my cheese, I'm sure many of you have read this book, on traveling and so on. So it's the story about a group of mice, and they are all trying to grab a piece of cheese, but they cannot find that. But there are some smart mice who are not disheartened and still find some cheese, which means that we will need to adapt. We can't keep on complaining of the market and the costs and so on. We will need to adapt to change, And that brings us to the point of the 3 big waves that happened in our industry. The first big wave in the recent 25 years was the wave when the multi-fiber arrangement, MFA, was phased out in 1995 over a 10-year period, So this was one big phase that characterized the change of our industry, The second big wave was when this more than 50% of the industry concentrated in one country, China. The third wave, the cusp of which we are on today, will be driven by and characterized by sustainability, digitalization, and dispersal of these supply chains, but also dispersal of consumption, In the past, it was the West which was consuming and the South that was producing, but we are going to see these shifts, And that's the third wave we have to anticipate, and it's important that we here, sitting as the industry, take note of this, that we do not miss the bus for this third wave, So let's learn a little bit about this third wave. There are 5 big trends which are characterizing our industry, and if we have to look at our industry, we just have to look at these 5 trends. There's nothing much more than this, The first is the good news that we are in an industry which still has a long-term growth, 2% growth thanks to demographics and GDP, So approximately 3 million tons of textiles are needed additionally every year, So that's a lot of fibers to be processed. The second important trend is the shifts in sourcing, which I already mentioned, And this is one big trend which is accelerating further, The third big trend is about sustainability. It is no more a CSR topic, but it's a topic on which the whole industry will be based. So therefore, it has become a qualifying condition to be in the industry, The fourth big trend is about technology. In the past, we used to talk about appropriate technology. So there was one technology which was suitable for the global north, and another set of technology which was appropriate for the global south. But today, whether you are in Bangladesh or in Pakistan or in Switzerland, it's just one set of technology you need, because that's needed to be in the global market and to be competitive, And this is converging into what we call as the emerging new business models. So these business models are complex and they are integrated, So let's learn more about these. I'm going to articulate some of these 5 trends that we saw. So the first trend was about growth. So the growth is driven by population, demographics, and GDP, Currently, we process about 125 million tons of fibers, which is approximately 14 to 15 kilos per capita for 8 billion people on this planet. And this is likely to grow to about 16 kilos per capita in another few years, But this differs a lot from country to country and from region to region. We have the global north, where the average consumption is about 32 kilos per capita. And we have Africa, where the consumption is about 2 kilos. We have India, which is still below 10 kilos, and we have China, which is about 20 kilos per capita. So therefore, this varies a lot. But the good news for the textile producers is that currently this 125 million tons of fibers that we process into various stages, this is going to touch something like 190 million tons by 2050, So approximately 3 million tons every year. So this demand needs to be met. There are some shifts in patterns in consumption, and as the countries develop, 2 things happen. First is that the services become more important than the goods, So here we have tried to show what happened in the US over a long period of time. On the right-hand side, which is more relevant, is the share of textiles and clothing. I mean, incidentally, in the US, the data is also captured by including footwear into that. So it's textiles, clothing, and footwear. From about 12% of the 20 trillion economy that the US has, the share of textiles and clothing has shrunk to 8%, which means that the consumption levels in the OECD countries are more or less saturated now. So the growth has to come from other countries, Another trend which is impacting, especially in the West, but also in the South, is this trend towards second-hand clothing, And second-hand clothing is not only for poor people. I mean, if those of you are familiar with Zurich Airport, and Switzerland is a rich country, at Zurich Airport, there are now shops which are selling what is called pre-loved clothing, or pre-loved footwear or pre-loved bags, So it's considered cool for a kid in America not to buy clothes which are made from virgin fibers or clothes which are newly made, So this is expected to become a big part of the textile economy. And as you can see, and these numbers are scary because this will eat into the demand for new fibers to be processed. Sourcing shifts. And this is something very important, We have analyzed the shifts in sourcing by the US and the EU over the last 10 to 15 years, So you will see a comparison of data between 2010 on the left-hand side and 2023 on the right-hand side. So the US imported $93 billion of textiles and clothing in 2010, and it increased to $105 billion in 2023. So who was supplying the US? China had a market share of 41% in 2010, but in 2023, it had shrunk to 24%. And this change is even more dramatic when it comes to cotton, where China's share has become half. So who has gained? You can see that the other colors, the boxes are getting bigger, India has gained from about 6% to 9%. Vietnam has gained significantly. Bangladesh has doubled its share, and so on. So every country has gained. But some new countries, like the CAFTA region, that's the Central America, like Guatemala, Honduras, etc., they have also gained significantly, And these shifts are becoming more and more accelerated. Let's look at the European situation. It's a similar situation where there is an increase in Europe's overall market, but the sources are changing. Unfortunately here, India has not been able to benefit from this shift. You will see that India's share has more or less remained stagnant in these 12, 13 years when it comes to Europe. But other countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, etc., they have gained significantly, So these shifts will continue, which means that our focus has to be how do we grab more of these market shares. Africa. Every country is rising, every region is rising to this opportunity of how to grab the shares which are being vacated by matured countries, In February, we had an event that was the Ministerial Conference 13, that's the annual ministerial conference of the WTO. I was invited at that conference because we are involved in a project which is in West Africa. You must have seen an announcement by Reader 2 days back that they have announced a $5 billion fund to be created, which is called Africa Renaissance Fund, which means that cotton which was being produced and exported in West Africa, the plan is now to transform into value-added products, because they need jobs, they need exports, and they have the market access advantage. So every country is trying to see how to leverage these shifts. Investments have been growing, and let's not forget that it's not that China has stopped investing. China has accelerated its investment, and it remains the top investor when it comes to the short staple spinning, weaving, and knitting machinery, But what we are seeing is that other countries, especially Vietnam, Bangladesh, besides India, they are investing in upgrading their equipment, and that's a good sign. Sustainability, that has become an essential imperative now, which is what we heard from Mr. Rajagopal and the previous speaker, so I'm not going to dwell too much on that, but let's look at some of the implications of sustainability. First is that sustainability, which is being driven by consumer awareness, which is transferred into ESG commitments of brands and retail, but now also regulation is catching up. Between 25 to 30, we are going to see about 12 types of different regulations which will be unfolded and which will have an impact on our value chains, So this includes material sustainability, it means resource sustainability, and it also, the regulation takes care of the social sustainability. On the right-hand side, you see the chart which shows the regulation on the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act from the US, which prevents cotton coming from Xinjiang region in China. And this chart is showing that more and more enforcement is taking place, and therefore the shift in sourcing of cotton to other countries is much more accelerated. We are involved in a big study by the Ministry of Textiles, and that is to map India's textile waste supply chain. And here we have looked at the 3 miles of the waste supply chain. The first mile is the collection, second mile is the processing, and third mile is the transformation. What we are seeing is that we lack an organized system of collection which needs to be strengthened. So whether it is a pre-consumer waste or it is a post-consumer waste. So here you see an example of how the textile waste is collected in Switzerland. For example, in every colony, every locality, you have this box where you can discard your post-consumer clothes or footwear and so on, which is then sorted, which means that today the sorters are becoming part of our value chain. Earlier they were part of charities and so on, but now we have to also bring them into the fold of our industry. Water. That's the second big dimension for a country like India or for the entire subcontinent, because we have a big deficit in terms of groundwater, This was a book written by my good friend Mridula Ramesh, who's so passionate about water. So she wrote this book about a few years back, which shows how the next battles will be about water. And if we do not conserve the water properly, the big challenge will be how do we process our fabrics? How do we take care of the wastewater and so on, So on the right-hand side, you can see that the requirement for water in the industrial use is going to increase, although still today it is mainly for our agriculture. There's a study which has been conducted by the government of India which shows the total demand for water for various industries, and in which textile is among the 8 big industries after power and electricity, which use a lot of hydro resources. So water is going to be one major issue besides materials that we'll have to contend with. Already companies in the world, they are doing a lot, and we looked at the ESG commitments and the ESG focus of 5 more than $1 billion companies, including our own like Arvind, Vardhaman and Welspun, and they are focused on reducing the consumption of water per kilo of fibers that they process, and also how to recalibrate and reutilize the wastewater and bring it back into the system. Regenerative cotton. I was speaking to the textile commissioner before the meeting, and we talked about regenerative cotton because the Ministry of Textiles is engaged with the International Cotton Advisory Committee about how to improve productivity of cotton and how to make it profitable for the farmers, So regenerative cotton is a technique which is not new, but it is being repopularized. In plain English, what it means is that you restore the health of the soil so that whatever nutrients you have taken away, they have to be put back into the soil so that, it remains neutral. So this regenerative cotton improves the productivity, and this is an experiment which is being done by Olam in more than 100,000 hectares of cotton that they are growing in Côte d'Ivoire in West Africa, where they were able to increase the yields by more than 50%. So it is good for the farmer, it is good for the earth, and this is what the brands and retail they require. Digitalization, how technology is becoming mainstream for our industry. I mean, this is an example of traceability, which also Mr. Rajagopal mentioned about the Kasturi cotton. This is an example from Hugo Boss, which is able to trace the entire cotton from the seed right up to their final collections through technology, which is using physical tracers as well as other data management systems. Another point about digitalization is how e-commerce is leading to disruptive models. You are all familiar with these two disruptors which have penetrated the market for retail, especially in the US, but also in Europe, that is taking advantage of the de minimis rule in the US, under which anything below $1,000 could be exported to the US, and it will not come into the purview of customs or any other regulations, So both Shein and Temu have fully taken advantage of this e-commerce trade. I mean, Shein is valued today at more than 60 billion pounds, a company which was founded just a few years back because they very smartly identified a gap in the market, and within 1 week they are able to deliver the goods directly to the customers. Temu is even younger than Shein. And when we had a meeting with CNTAC, which is China's Confederation of the Industry, so last year, about 15% of China's total textile and clothing exports were through international e-commerce. So this is another business model which is disrupting the entire supply chain. And finally, about digitalization, it is about creating these smart factories, where there is a confluence and congruity between people, processes, and machine. This is an example of a factory that we are designing in Sri Lanka for one of the big groups, and it's a fully digital factory. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at the convergence of these trends into 34 trends, which is the new integrated business model, where we have to take into account all these changes in order to be successful in the modern textile value chain. Okay, let's now descend from this 33,000 feet to a helicopter view, and let's look at our own industry. And I would just like to take this opportunity to look at what has happened in the last 10 to 12 years, and based on the vision that has been expressed by the government, what will it take to reach there? This is how the Indian textile industry has evolved over the next 1 decade or so, and these are the numbers from the India's GDP, which Chairman Mr. Goenka mentioned in the morning, earlier in his speech. So the size of our industry, which is currently at about $176 billion, it has been growing at about 4%. This includes the domestic demand, that's the value of the domestic output, plus the exports, that's about $35 billion. Now, if we continue to grow on the business as usual basis, we will end up with approximately $234 billion by 2030, But our goal is ambitious. It's to reach $300 billion, So if we have to achieve that, we have to grow at 10% every year, It's very difficult, but not impossible, but we have to work towards that. As far as the opportunity is concerned, it's already there. I mean, the game is how do we grab that opportunity, and how do we generate investment in the industry? How do we become part of those supply chains? And what will it take, To achieve this kind of growth, we have estimated that we will need an investment of something like $125 billion over the next 10 years, And this investment will have to be across the value chain from fiber production. For example, we will need about 25 million tons of fibers, in the next 10 years, both synthetic as well as natural, We don't have much more area to grow cotton, So where will these fibers come from? These are all the big questions, We don't have to find answer to that, but, it's something to provoke our thinking that the opportunity is there. It is this competitive supply that we really need to gear to create employment, to create exports, and also to boost the economy. Some of these slides you will see a little bit of French, but not too complicated, What we feel is it is very important for the public sector, that's the policy makers and the private sector, to really understand how does our industry work, The international market is really dominated by no more than 100 companies, Out of that you have 20 big companies and then there are a few small companies. So about 100 companies, they control this 1 trillion trade in textiles and clothing, So that's the size of the market, about 2 trillion worth of market, out of which 1 trillion is in international trade. So this is the first side on the demand side, to understand where is the demand, who is our customer, So these are intermediaries, these are the buyers, and these are the distributors. Then comes the supply. 90% of the supply today is in Asia, and it is very difficult to disrupt this supply, so it is likely to remain in Asia in bulk. So you have these 4 tiers of the industry. Tier 1 being confection, that's garment manufacturing. Tier 2 is fabrics. Tier 3 is the yarn manufacturing, both man-made fibers and the short staple spinning. And then you have the catalysts and facilitators, and that's where the role of the government and the other institutions comes in, But at the end, it requires huge cooperation between the public and the private sector. And I think today's forum is a great example that we have, the policy makers and the industry and the facilitators sitting together to find the solutions and to brainstorm about how to crack this opportunity. As far as the Indian value chain is concerned, we can really summarize it into these 7 pillars to create this or to achieve this $300 billion vision. First of all, to generate investment, we will need incentives, because capital has to be deployed, and it will be deployed where the profits are the highest and where the incentives are the highest, Second is the supply of raw materials. As I said, from the current level of about 12 million tons, we will need to double the production of raw materials, about 25 million tons. So this will need to be made available. Third is the market access, both preferential and into the domestic market. We will need huge amount of human capital and skills. The mega textile parks will offer some of the world-class infrastructure that is needed. And then finally, we will need policies, many of which are already in place, both at the federal, central, as well as at the state level, So this ecosystem will have to work very efficiently in order to achieve that and realize that vision. We've been having various sessions with the Ministry of Textiles and with the private industry, and we have tried to condense what is needed into short, medium, and long-term measures, And these measures would have to be put into place over the next 10 years. Some of these will need to happen immediately, but some over a period of time. The first is to remove the irritants, because the industry faces many irritants or roadblocks, so these need to be addressed, Let's call them as the hygiene factors, The second is the industry needs to be consulted. The government cannot make policy sitting in the Ministry of Textile, which is why we are very happy that the Textile Commissioner is here, and this consultation is very important. There has to be database. We need to strengthen our data. What is happening where? What are the prices of raw materials? What is the productivity in Brazil? What is the productivity in India and so on? The data is very important. What is the utilization of the industry? So it's based on data that we will make decisions. The midterm measures, the first is the investment, and especially the investment has to be driven by the garment industry. We need more and more garment factories, which will be really the engine for growth and sustainability. Sustainability is not something that the industry can achieve alone. There need to be a public-private cooperation, and this is where we must recognize that 90% of our production comes from clusters and SMEs. So we need to strengthen their capabilities through recycling hubs. They cannot manage the water situation or ETPs on their own. So the SMEs will need a lot of help and public investment. And the long-term measures, of course, need the market access. Productivity of cotton will need to be boosted because we will need at least 10 million tons of cotton in the future, and that cannot come from the area. It will have to come from the yield, Capacity building, labor reforms, and cluster development. These are some of the long-term measures, But we need to put in place this ecosystem to achieve that ambitious target. So this, ladies and gentlemen, was about some of the trends and the takeaways for India about the Bharat Tex. We are very thankful to the organizers for giving us this opportunity to be the knowledge partners for Bharat Tex exposition. I think this is a great opportunity for India to showcase its capabilities as a sourcing destination, but also as an investment destination, and this is what Bharat Tex will be all about. About Gerzi, I'm not going to speak much. I mean, everyone knows about that, but with our experience and with our history, we are here to help the industry grow and take advantage of these disruptive trends. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the detailed insight on the Bharat Tex and about the global trends in the textile industry. Our Additional Secretary of Ministry of Textiles, Shri Rohit Kansal, was about to be a part of today's show, but due to some unforeseen situation, he couldn't make it. So he has sent his warm regards and best wishes to all of us. And we'll be moving to an interactive session, the most exciting part of the event, that is the Q&A. I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly be a part of the Q&A round. I request Shri Badresh Dodia, the Chairman, Matixil, Co-Chairman of the Core Committee, Bharat Tex, to kindly come on the stage. I request Shri Narendra Goenka, Chairman of the Core Committee, Bharat Tex 2025. Shri Vijay Kumar Agarwal, Chairman, Tex Prosil. Shri K. Shaktivel, Vice Chairman, PedExcel, and Shri Rakesh Kumar, Bharat Tex Core Committee, to kindly be a part of the Q&A round. I request, when we start with the Q&A, requesting all our delegates to kindly restrict yourself with only questions related to Bharat Tex, and please keep it only to Bharat Tex, as I said, and please introduce yourself with your company's name followed by your brief question. Yes, any questions, please? Ladies and gentlemen, we have our dignitaries on the stage. Any questions? Ladies and gentlemen, any questions? Do we have any questions? I request Sanjeev sir if you could join us, please.
This is Ravi. I'm from the Sunrise Exports. What are the supports you are going to offer to the buyers this time?
Thanks, Raviji. The support is really not much, but to offer the bouquet of textile at one place. However, we have a selective hosted program for buyers. There are some criteria which we see in hosting those buyers. Those selected buyers will be hosted with the hospitality package where they would be able to get the hotel stay and the other facility from Bharat Tex Federation. However, we have norms for the buyers who wish to do so.
Okay, we have
These are the only hospitality package, but I must assure you, there would be a curated experience for the seniors of the buying offices, buying countries, buying retailers and brand. It is not just to go around. There would be, if you have CEOs, CXOs, CTOs, there would be special individual package would be made for their engagement. With their engagement with the stakeholders, their engagement with the regulator, their panel, they'll be part of panel discussion. So it is not a financial package only of 4 days hotel and all. It is much bigger things in place. So please do let us know if there are seniors, members of the buying fraternity coming here who has some knowledge, who has some experience. We would create a whole lot of experience for them. So make sure that you give us the list of your senior esteemed members. Thank you.
Sir, 1 minute before moving on to the next question. I request all the ladies and gentlemen standing at the back to please kindly take your seats as the session is still going on. I request ladies and gentlemen standing at the back to kindly take your seats, please, as the session is still going on. Thank you. Yes, sir, all over to you.
Hello. This is Yogesh Gaikwad from Society of Dyers and Colorists. We are based in Bradford, UK. And on behalf of people who want to invest in India, there has been a lot of interest in India in investing in, especially in the textile manufacturing sector. So for them, those people who are interested in investing in India, because the markets in US and UK are drying up. So there is a shrinkage. So that money wants to come to India. So what is your message? What are the arrangements for some people who are looking for investments in India, especially in textile manufacturing?
Yeah, thank you, Yogesh. So when I was presenting, there was one of the international session which we have held. See, we have plugged in Invest India as our partner, and we are also having onboarded KPMG and Garzi, whose mandate is not just to propagate our Bharat Tex, but also look at such investors, make them meet with various stakeholders, be it central government or state government. So really this platform is one such platform where one investor can come, interact with industry, interact with policymakers, also interact with various states who will be hosting their state in Bharat Tex and see what kind of opportunity lies for them. So it's just a platform which they can. Yeah, Vijayji.
I want to add, as Chairman Bharat Tex said, state governments are giving a lot of help. A lot of incentives are being given. So anyone who wants to invest in India, this is the best opportunity. In fact, a lot of people have already started investing in India, and those who are not probably missing the bus.
Hello. Yeah. I'm Sanjay Chawla, DFU Publications and Fascinating World. We have a global footprint on that. I'm textile engineer. I come from media fraternity. I've been fortunate to visit many international events across the world, especially in textile apparel industry. Like Goenka ji just said that you will curate a program to take care of buyers' needs, what is there. So one point I like to emphasize, I'm sure you must be thinking about it. You have presented that there will be many media, international media there. Generally, this is a missed kind of opportunity in most of the events. I feel there should be a proper agency or media curation where the media is given a full direction, because in event like this, which is so humongous, it is very impossible to visit each and everything. Like when we visit very curated events, we are given beforehand all the new developments, all the new activities which are very focused. A journalist or a media person who's coming for 3-4 days, they are able to capture the best, because exhibition lasts for 3 days. Media can take it around the year and it can create the buzz, you know. It will give a definite direction. This is what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your excellent suggestion. As a matter of fact, the event pivot is not only just the exhibition, but we have a knowledge session, we have exhibition, and even this time we are going to have many more to be attached. Like last time also we had fashion show, we also had a curation with the designers, the talks with the designers, and the various other one-to-one meetings. So for the media, there is going to be everyday briefing. Prior to the Bharat Tex, this is going to be a media preview, maybe 3 days before. And then after the preview, the media will be briefed every day. There will be a proper curated visit, a tour to the best of the show at both the venue and all the 6 days. That means 2 days are overlapped, but 12 to 15 at the Expo Mart, and then 14 to 17 at the Bharat Mandapam. So there is a proper curated tour. Every day that there will be releases and the story. I also wish to share with you that one of the top media agency of the country is going to take care all these arrangements on behalf of us. Right now, I'm not going to just mention the name, but I think post this meeting, you can discuss with me that. But definitely, media is going to be taken care very well, particularly the publications and others. Thank you.
Hello. Since all the organizers, since you have asked me to come here to just justify that you called me, I have got not the questions, some suggestions, maybe I'm not fully aware of it. Buying houses. Now they are playing much more increased role than what it was before. I mean, they were not the decision maker, they were simply follow-up. Now every buying house now has added people in their sourcing, in fabric, fiber. Some have gone to the extent of that they are going to the right fiber and manufacturing, garment, fabric, etc. So do we have some kind of a strategy where you are inviting all the buying houses based in India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka? That is one thing. So are they taken care of? Just because selling space and getting footfall, this is one thing, okay? Because all these things have to be approached in the right way.
So you must have seen the slide. The round table shows in Bangalore in October 25th and Delhi. That was mainly for making sure that all buying offices have a very good participation in Bharat Tex show with their principal all over the world. They have been very well apprised of what is India today, where we are going, what is Bharat Tex, and their complete participation in Bharat Tex is requested. That is why these 2 round tables, which are available, buying offices are in Delhi and in Bangalore. So we have already done this, and these buying offices have the offices all over the globe, whether it is Bangladesh, Hong Kong, Singapore, and all places. So we have covered up most of the offices. If you feel somebody is left, please give us after the meeting.
I think so. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
So you
we,
give us
we,
the.
we need.
You give us the detail. We will approach them again. Thank you.
I think we need a little bit more work to be done
in
this area.
Here I would like to add on that, moreover after the round tables, every council has been allotted certain things and they are following up the sourcing managers to bring them to India, and if it's in India, we are also speaking to them. Personally, we are getting in touch with them to come for the Bharat Tex like that. So every council is doing individually, other than the Bharat Tex Federation like that.
Good evening. This is Sanjay Ghosh from Bombay Dang. My simple question is, I have visited last 2024 Bharat Tex, and now what is our expectation in 2025? How many foreign buyers will become with respect to 2024? Whether it will be increased, same or reduced?
Yes, sir.
I think the slide was shown very clearly that we are definitely going to have more buyers this time. But as I said, this Bharat Tex is more to brand India as a sourcing destination. So we are expecting a lot of buyers, and we are actually trying very hard. We are having more international road shows to ensure that big players come this time. But it is taking time. This is just the second year. I'm presuming that if this continues for 3-4 years, it will become a part of the calendar date of all the buyers, all the big buying houses.
Thank you so much.
Just one more small question.
I would like to just add, Vijayji, this point. Bharat Tex has 3 focus. The first one is the buyer, second is buyer, and third is also buyer. And message to every buyer is, ultimate sourcing begins here. The message to every buyer, ultimate sourcing also ends here. And that is Bharat Tex.
Hello. One more, Mr. Dodia, just one small one. Could we think about having a kind of a monitoring cell, because these 3-4 lead councils are working, that you draw some people and they actually monitor everything, that the data record, that what kind of business generated, what kind of follow-up we need to do as far as the buyers are concerned, what kind of sector buyers we were there, and something like that. And these kind of data can be shared with the participants, that this is what exactly is happening. I mean, we can have a figure, 100 million business generated and all that thing is understood, but how much actually materialized, how much it is thing. And if there are newcomers which are coming, that they are taken genuine care of. I mean, they are serviced properly, because service is also equally important, other than just selling, which is transactional.
Sanjeev ji, in fact, last time also we had prepared a complete outcome report, and a copy of that is also available. It's a very exhaustive report that gives the entire detail of each and every activity, and we also tried to measure that what we could achieve out of that activity. This year we are going to make it much more exhaustive. It's going to be a very exhaustive report where not only Bharat Tex Federation, but the ministry is very particular about this kind of a complete report, because a lot of efforts, a lot of money is going to put in this entire exercise. This outcome report will be definitely prepared, and if you have some concrete suggestion, please do share with us. I think we would also incorporate that in the report.
Thank you. I think that whether ministry is how much they are interested, but the people, those who are paying money and participating, they would be much more interested in that, because they are those who are investing kind of a thing. But anyway, just see that, because doing an event is one thing.
Sanjeev, I'll also add on this. Thus, we are only on the second edition of the show. Our main purpose is the communication. We were always told that we are not good at communicating. We are today, we say we are second number in this, second number or this, third number on this. We have a best of sustainability. Customers are expecting a better sustainability level than the much bigger competitors of ours in neighboring countries. I do not want to name them. So we were not a good communicator. So the first and foremost aim of Bharat Tex is to showcase the world that who we are in textile industry. This is only a second edition. So expecting a number put to the business happen is not a very good idea currently. Definitely, we are businessmen, we definitely need some numbers. But to expect a number is not. And the Bharat Tex is giving a very good satisfaction for the cross-industry benefit. Like today, first edition of the Bharat Tex, like value-added people didn't even know what we had in the upstream raw material. When they had such a big 3 days, they went around, they came to know that our country has got this kind of raw material, this kind of complete value chain. So this is, my request here is, bring as many as visitors, but do not ask what is the business, how many billions we have transacted. That expectation is not really in the second edition. Definitely our aim is for that third, fourth, fifth edition. We will start accounting for that. This edition is especially to showcase our ability to communicate to the world that we are the full value chain country and we are the most stable textile supply chain. So let's join hand to project our country as the best sourcing hub of textile. Thank you.
Okay, as we are short of time, would be requesting to take one last question, and then the dignitaries are right here. We can meet them during the dinner. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Paras Jain from Rajesh Rayon Silk Mills, and I'm a proud member of Metexcel. My question to Team Bharat Tex is, I hope every EPC is working very hard to invite these overseas buyers. I was a part of the first Bharat Tex event, and I'm proudly part of the second as well, and so on as it goes. So my simple question to you is, like, as many overseas buyers are coming in, how the EPCs are screening them? Like, how the buyers are verified? That's a simple question to you, sir.
So we call for the data of their import, company registration, last 3 years export, and how active they are into textiles. These are the three fundamental documents which we ask for. And based on their import, as long as they are sourcing from anywhere in the world and they are into textiles, these are the only criteria which we see before inviting and hosting them.
Buyers who have been, sorry.
In addition, see, screening is being done for the purpose of providing them hospitality, where we are providing them hotel. But otherwise, if you see all over the world, the trend of the fair is that anyone can come to the fair who is a potential buyer or who is prospective buyer. He may not be buying from India at all. He might be starting his new business. So even those people are also welcome. If they register with us, they are welcome. Only when we are giving them some hospitality or some kind of allowances in terms of a hotel or some other facility. But it's a trade fair. So trade fair is open for each and every buyer. And we are also going to have all type of our exhibitors. We are going to have SMEs. We are going to have smaller exhibitors. And then we are also going to have a large companies like Reliance and Wellspun and others. So definitely there is a categorization. The presentation that was shown to you, we have addressed 1,200 top people in the world. But at the same time, we are also going to welcome the same way any mom and pop store comes. Because today there may be mom and pop store, but tomorrow, after having a sourcing from India, they might have 20, 30 stores or maybe retailer. So I think they are also welcome.
Thank you.
One minute, please. Hello. One simple suggestion in addition to this. No, we are sourcing the buyers. We are taking a thorough inquiry, what Bhadesh sir had told. But can we take the help of ECGC also for taking the buyer, so we can get an inquiry of the buyer about their quality?
Here, I think at this moment it is not required because...
As Rakesh ji explained, the screening is only because there is a buyer hospitality program. Otherwise, it's a trade show. Like individual, if you get some customer and you want to start a business, it is the individual job to look at ECGC. When there is a registration after 5,000 people, we just can't go to look, practically I'm talking, we can't have a search of 5,000 people ECGC record. So basically screening is only because we are giving the hospitality program, so they should have some worth. That is what we are looking at.
Sir, I just want to, it's my suggestion.
Thanks, sir. It's a good suggestion.
Your suggestion is very...
No, especially whom we are inviting.
Absolutely.
For those I'm telling.
So
not for all.
So in hospitality program, your suggestion is very, very valid. At least for those 5,000 people whom we are like giving the hospitality, we will definitely look for their credit records also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Just for your information, in addition to ECGC, we are also taking a lot of data from Dun & Bradstreet. And Dun & Bradstreet data is much powerful data, much crisp data than the ECGC.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for all the dignitaries. And yes, any more questions, feel free to reach them during the dinner. Yes, and I request our dignitaries to please kindly take the seats on the front row. It's fine? Okay. Moving forward, let me invite for the vote of thanks Shri Shalini Toshniwal, the Vice Chairman, Matexel. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for him, please. Come on.
Distinguished guests, honored dignitaries, esteemed partners, members of the media, very good evening. And first and foremost, thank you, Mumbai, for such an outstanding response. I'd like to just have a loud hand of applause for all of you. You've been extremely patient, extremely gracious, and participative, as we Mumbaikars are. So as we conclude this enlightening seminar on Kasturi Cotton, mega trends, and of course Bharat Tex 2025, it is my honor and privilege as Vice Chairman Matexel to extend a wholehearted thanks to each one of you for making this event such a memorable evening. First of all, I would like to thank Shri Piyush Goyalji, our Honorable Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, who conceptualized Bharat Tex. He dreamed the impossible, but all of us made it happen. So we thank him. I also thank Shri Girirajji, our Honorable Union Minister of Textiles, for his active participation and guidance on the forthcoming Bharat Tex. He's extremely excited and will be participating in some of the roadshows ahead. I express a deep appreciation to our respected Srimati Rachna Shah, Secretary, Ministry of Textiles, Shri Rohit Kansal, Additional Secretary, Srimati Shubhra, Trade Advisor, Ministry of Textiles, and Shri Rajiv Saxena, Joint Secretary, and the entire team of the Ministry of Textiles for their continuous support, hand-holding to help us organize Bharat Tex. Special thanks to Srimati Ruprashi ji, Textile Commissioner, for being here with us today. She has truly been a great ambassador for Indian textiles. I'm also immensely grateful to all the esteemed chairmen and administrators of the Export Promotion Councils and supporting organizational agencies, CMAI and CITI, for their continuous support, directions towards strengthening Indian textiles. Without your combined efforts, this event would not be possible. I must, of course, thank the Bharat Tex Core Committee, led so ably by Chairman Shri Naren Goenka ji, Joint Chairman Bhadresh Dhodia ji, Rakesh Kumar ji, Vijay Agarwal ji, and Sudhir Sekri ji. A big round of applause for them, please. My heartfelt thanks to Shri Navdeep Sodhi ji, who presented us with such an enlightening presentation on global textile trends, and I'm sure all of us will take a lot back from that particular conversation. Special thanks to the media representatives who have joined us today. Your role in disseminating the information on Bharat Tex is invaluable, and I'm deeply grateful for your presence and support. My sincere thanks to the management and staff of Hotel Sofitel who have worked tirelessly to make this evening possible. Also thank Utsavya for their organization of this event. Success of today's event was a collective effort. I must thank our COA, Committee of Administration, for their constant support. I extend my deep appreciation for Shri Ravi Kumar, our Executive Director, and also to the staff of Matexel who have, through their meticulous planning and dedication, made this evening possible. In closing, let me reiterate the importance of Bharat Tex 2025 as an unparalleled platform for the Indian and global textile community. I urge the media again to come in large numbers and cover the event with the attention that it so deserves. And lastly, in togetherness, there is strength. Let us together, the textile value chain, come together and make this a celebration and welcome the world. Please do bring all of your buyers, and I'm sure this will be an experience we will all remember for a long time. I like to think of it as IPL Edition 1, which started something, and IPL Edition 2 and onwards was just greater and greater success. So I'm sure we're going to have a resounding success. Now I'm standing between you and dinner, so I will not take longer. Thank you once again. Please join us for cocktails and dinner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This marks an end, but a beginning to a new start. Thank you so much, Anchor Asha Kocher, signing off officially.